drives. The crew riding round in a Benzo. Red I'm in charge of my own fate. Left the excuses behind. Now I'm the illest violinist alive. I took the pain and I thrive, but look at me now. Grew up with low self-esteem. It was me and my mama, just us in the trauma. Hands up if you know what I mean. I see you, I feel you. I want you to know that you're not alone. I know what it's like not to have a home. Feel like I live in the end zone. I'm the one leading the drives. The crew riding round in a Benzo. Red I'm in charge of my own fate. Left the excuses behind. Now I'm the illest violinist alive. I took the pain and I thrive, but look at me now. low self-esteem. Was me and my mama, just us in the trauma. Hands up if you know what I mean. I see you, I feel you. I want you to know that you're not alone. I know what it's like not to have a home. Like what now audible. Feel like I live in the end zone. I'm the one leading the drives. The crew riding around in a Benzo. Ready I'm in charge of my own fate. Left the excuses behind. Now I'm the illest violinist alive. I took the pain and I thrive, but look at me now. Grew up with low self-esteem. Was me and my mama, just us in the trauma. Hands up if you know what I mean. I see you, I feel you. I want you to know that you're not alone. I know what it's like not to have a home. Like what now audible. Feel like I live in the end zone. I'm the one leading the drives. The crew riding around in a Benzo. Ready I'm in charge of my own fate. Left the excuses behind. Now I'm the illest violinist alive. I took the pain and I thrive, but look at me now. self-esteem. Was me and my mama, just us in the trauma. Hands up if you know what I mean. I see you, I feel you. I want you to know that you're not alone. I know what it's like not to have a home. Audible, feel like I live in the end zone. I'm the one leading the drives. The crew riding round in a benzo. Ready I'm in charge of my own fate. Left the excuses behind. Now I'm the illest violinist alive. I took the pain and I thrive, but look at me now. Grew up with low self-esteem. Was me and my mama, just us in the trauma. Hands up if you know what I mean. I see you, I feel you. I want you to know that you're not alone. I know what it's like not to have a home. Audible, feel like I live in the end zone. I'm the one leading the drives. The crew riding round in a benzo. Ready I'm in charge of my own fate. Left the excuses behind. Now I'm the illest violinist alive. I took the pain and I thrive, but look at me now. low self-esteem. Was me and my mama, just us in the trauma. Hands up if you know what I mean. I see you, I feel you. I want you to know that you're not alone. I know what it's like not to have a home. Feel like I live in the end zone. I'm the one leading the drives. The crew riding round in a benzo. Ready to I'm in charge of my own fate. Left the excuses behind. Now I'm the illest violinist alive. I took the pain and I thrive, but look at me now. With low self-esteem. Was me and my mama, just us in the trauma. Hands up if you know what I mean. I see you, I feel you. I want you to know that you're not alone. I know what it's like not to have a home. Feel like I live in the end zone. I'm the one leading the drives. The crew riding round in a benzo. Ready to I'm in charge of my own fate. Left the excuses behind. Now I'm the illest violinist alive. I took the pain and I thrive, but look at me now.
We are here in Darabin for what should be an absolute belter of a Friday night of futsal. Summer has turned to autumn, but that doesn't stop the heat from coming from SFV. And kicking things off, it is Moorlands and Western United. The Blues flying high after a first Classico win in what feels like an eternity last week. They face a Western side who are still brimming with confidence, both unbeaten to kickstart season 1 of 2025. Those in green would have felt unlucky not to come away with a win against Pasco Vale last time out, whereas those in blue understand that they have gone from being the perennial hunters to being the hunted. I'm Ethan Rigg, thank you for joining us wherever you're listening and wherever you're watching. This promises to be a special one. It's match day 6 on the calendar. And this headlines with it being the earliest of early kickoffs at 6:25 here in Melbourne. It headlines a truly action-packed evening that awaits you. Obviously, outside of this one, we have Fitzroy and Pasco Vale, as well as Melbourne Aku and Hume, who are on later tonight. But all eyes turn to those Moorland Blues in black this evening. And those in Western green, currently united in their huddle, about to take court. And whilst we're at it, we can run you through some lineups. So for Moreland, Christos Apostolakis starts in goal. He was fabulous last time out and has been so far this season the only keeper yet to be beaten in series futsal. Adam Cooper, James Norbury, Christophs Papa Constantinou, Robson de Souza, Ryan Ali, Kevin De Santos, Miguel Barragos, Lucas Cassin, last week's match winner Enrique Pimenta and Ibi Habi round out those in Moreland blue. And for Western United, we'll have Aaron Yu, who looks set to start between the sticks, as he so often does. Lucas Grigg is the secondary keeping option. Angus Angelatos, Tal Golper, Elias Parthamos, Jerry Angelatos, David Jakub, Darcy Skopolidis, Gerardo Soto, Erkan Berikali and Luke Ross, all named for those in green. This one has the potential to be massive, as if Western United win, they pull Moreland closer to them in the table and deny the Blues the chance to go clear at the top. Whereas for Moreland, the summit well and truly beckons if they can get clear air. And we're underway as Ross and Western United look to get us going. He uses Parthamos, who looked to clip Ross in straight away, and Pimenta is happy to usher that one out of play. United to go long in their early adventures. Cooper for Dos Santos, with Cooper and Pimenta once more. Has Dos Santos wide and uses him. Adam Cooper's dropped deepest. Ali's come in support. He finds Ali now, Adam Cooper. Pimenta rolls it down the line for Ali. That's a smashing ball, and Parthamos was alert to the danger and cut out brilliantly. But you can see the Blues already looking to get into those combinations that worked so well last week. Rolled it for Cooper, did Pimenta. And Aaron Yu called into early action as Pimenta rolls it for Apostolakos. Dos Santos. Western United trying to apply the press to KDS. Skipped by one, rolled it back to Cooper, who finds Ali. Couldn't turn past Jakub and Parthamos. He's happy to see that one out, but it will be Moreland's ball. Not the most free-flowing or frantic of starts in this one, as Cooper once again has a look and scores. Adam Cooper with a piercing drive, and Moreland hit the front in the early exchanges. It is the number 3 that makes it 1-0. And already Western United rocked. That one had way too much on it for Aaron Yu. It was a brilliant hit from Adam Cooper, who's no stranger to a speculative goal. But what can those in green do in response? Jakub tried to find Galpa once more, as it ricochets back to you. Now Ross has Jakub widest. Galpa down the line. Chooses David Jakub. Face to face with Pimenta. Chooses to go back to Ross. Galpa has Jakub and uses him, who just tried to flick it around the corner to Luke Ross before he had it under control. And Moreland already applying that press to good effect. Pimenta rolls it for Cooper. Face to face with Galpa, tries to skip by the number 4, who shuts the door expertly. That was fabulous defending from Tal Galpa. As Adam Cooper tried to go an amazing run, Western United put the green wall up and he couldn't climb over. As you looked to go long, Cooper said none of that. Played it towards Pimenta and Ali, who made a bit of a mess of it, but worked it out in the end. Ali rolled it for Pimenta, who tried to give it to Dos Santos. Ross was alert to the danger and eventually does really well to relieve the pressure. He's been a bright spark in Western United green as Luke Ross so far when he's appeared this season. Here he is once more. Galpa couldn't get past Pimenta, and it only fell to Dos Santos, who couldn't find a shot. Instead found Cooper. Now Pimenta cuts inside, has a hit, but Galpa was in the way, trying to mimic the fashion in which he scored last week. It was a brilliant hit off the inside of the post, under the keeper and in. But that one, Galpa was alert to the danger that was presented on that left foot. As Dos Santos finds Pimenta once more. He has Cooper. Ali leaves it cleverly and then made the run. Cooper couldn't get it past Parthamos. And can Western United break? Galpa tried to skip by Cooper, but he stuck a foot in, did the Moreland number 3. And in the end, the Blues come away with possession once more. It's Dos Santos and Pimenta. Can Moreland conjure an early second? The quick 1-2 punch. It's Cooper. Dos Santos once more. Face to face with Ross. Goes home to Cooper, who has a look. Looked to have a drive, and Galper got in the way. Just hung with him all the way, did Sal Galper. And already, you can see they're starting to close down Adam Cooper as soon as he gets a yard. Cooper rolled it back for Pimenta. And Aaron Yu made a fabulous save. Just stuck a leg out and got down well. Did what he had to do and prevented it from going out for a corner. Dos Santos rolls it for Pimenta once more. Yu's in the way again. And instead that one ricochets off the side netting as he looks long for Ross, but Dos Santos was all over it. And instead ushers it out for Apostolakis to gather and restart. Uses Ali. Now Cooper has Dos Santos wide, instead rolls it to Pimenta. That's lovely. Ali tried to clip it over. And Aaron Yu once again alert to the danger, but that was fabulous futsal from Moreland. They carved their way through Western United then. And Aaron Yu stuck a leg out at the expense of a corner, but it could have been worse for those in green. And it still could be as Cooper has a hit, but just didn't get anything of it. And you can tell already that Moreland are into their rhythm, riding high on confidence as Darcy Skopelidis, brace scorer, game saver for Western United last week against Pasco Vale, enters the fray. Long for Yakubu, looked to flick Skopelidis in straight away. Cooper didn't quite get anything on it on the clearance. It's Skopelidis, rolls it back for Parthimos. Face to face with Dos Santos, uses Skopelidis once more. And Parthimos has Ross if he so chooses. That's clever. Skopelidis back with Parthimos again. Western United just looking to get a foothold, calm things down. Skopelidis for Parthimos, that's lovely. Yakub dropped deepest and gave a hand. And that's lovely again from Skopelidis. It turns out for Yakub, who crashes one against the post. It's the best bit of Western United play we've seen. Lovely combinations between Yakub, Skopelidis and Parthimos. They worked their way through patiently and they opened Moreland up there. Something the Blues need to be alert for, but something that those in green will be happy about and would like to see more often, as Pimenta couldn't skip past Parthimos after returning from Ali. And what was a bit of a quiet couple minutes since that opening goal has sprung into life as Dos Santos from Pimenta, face to face with Angelatos, looks to work the angle, and it's a fabulous block by the number 3. Cooper in turn retrieves. Skopelidis tried to apply the press. He goes to Apostolakis, Ali. Dos Santos, Parthimos stuck a foot in, but they get away with it to those in Moreland blue. Cooper took a heavy touch and Skopelidis was there to make the challenge. It's a strong lunge from Darcy Skopelidis. He got all ball. And Cooper for De Souza, now Dos Santos. Adam Cooper once more, tries to clip one for Dos Santos down the line. Parthimos alert to the danger and ushers it out at the expense of a corner, but he did well there. Did Elias Parthimos. Dos Santos looked to just breeze by him, but the number 6 read it perfectly. Got himself goal side and made the blockers Cassine. And in turn could only find Cooper. Now Apostolakis. Cooper once more. Just to clip it for De Souza. Skopelidis alert to the danger. Angelatos couldn't get it under control. And Cooper to Cassine once more. Now Dos Santos. Just calming things down are those two in Moreland black. As Cooper clips down the line for Cassine, and Angelatos ushered him out to play the ball with it. Blocked the cutback as De Souza was lurking. As Adam Cooper saunters over on this commentary side to take. His goal the difference so far as he rolls it for Cassine, whose shot was curling, but he couldn't quite get it to curl anywhere near that far post. And those in Western United green get a chance to reset. All but one look, they've been on the back foot in this first half so far. And Aaron Yu, been called into action, responded excellently aside from that first goal. And looks for Angelatos, whose header was dipping. It troubled Apostolakis there for a second. And my word, was he happy to watch that loop over the bar. It dipped late, but just not enough. As Apostolakis rolls for Cooper, now De Souza. Back with Adam Cooper. Tries to clip for Cassine, and Soto read it beautifully. In the end, Moreland gets a reset, but Gerardo Soto made a good fist of that. Cassine did very well to make it a contest. As Cooper and Norbury get us back underway. Cassine once more. Back with Norbury. D'Souza tried to clip Norbury in, could only find Angelatos, who couldn't quite get it under. And once again, Moreland let off the hook when it doesn't come off, and Cooper could only find Ross, who in turn could only find Apostolakis' ball. It's not been frantic, it's been calculated. D'Souza runs out of room. And Western United get the chance to reset. Soto for Luke Ross. Couldn't get past Cassine, but Aaron Hughes there to clean up comfortably, but couldn't find Angelatos in turn. As Western United made a bit of a hash of that clearance, had more time than maybe they realised, as Cooper rolls for Cassine. Skopolidis immediately there to apply the pressure to Cooper. He goes to Apostolakis, who looks long to no avail. And the Western United press working very, very well for the first time, you would say. As they force Moreland back, they forced a bit of a rush clearance with no bodies upfield in black, and are able to regain possession as you. Looks long for Soto as well. The long ball's something that they've both sort of they've utilised to mixed effects so far. The presence of Skopolidis will make life easier for Aaron Yu going long. With Apostolakis, D'Souza presents an option, and he finds him wonderfully, but he just can't get it under. Can rob some D'Souza. And Luke Ross gets the chance to reload. He has Aaron Yu with him and uses him. Has Soto gallivanting forward if he chooses. Instead tries to roll for Skopolidis, who was ushered well by Adam Cooper. He's one-on-one with Angelatos. What can he work, the number 3? Switches out for Norbury. Moreland just looking to turn that screw once more as Western United applied the press, and it nearly came off for them. They picked their way through that first line, but in the end, Skopolidis was alert to the danger and happy to concede in that situation as Cooper. Norbury. Back with Cooper has Papa Constantinu. Going long instead, chooses to go for Norbury. They choose calm. In the end, that wasn't very calm from Norbury, looking for D'Souza. As Ross uses Aaron Yu. Sense that maybe both teams might be trying to force it at the moment. And Yu trying to apply some calm as he looks to find Ross, who had to stretch and find Angelatos. And Norbury got an important block. D'Souza in turn had to clear his lines. It was a vicious cutback from Angelatos. And they nearly had an opening, Western United, but nobody was home. Ross for Soto. Face to face with two Moreland defenders, and D'Souza it is in the end who wins out. It's Gerardo Soto. Has Ross and Angelatos. Skopolidis made the break near post. Look for Angelatos, but instead Cooper can break. He has Papa Constantinu. He uses him. Tried to roll it back for Norbury. And in the end, Moreland do win a corner. No, they don't. Officials' call is back with Aaron Yu. Soto. Can they break now? Has Angelatos wide, choose to go alone, could only hit Cooper. It is Skopolidis off the post. Apostolakis was beaten and was quickest to the ricochet as D'Souza tried to clip his way past Soto, but that was the closest Western United have come. Can they work something else now? Inventive from Ross. Just too much on it for Soto. Skopolidis caught that sweep, but could only find the inside to the upright. A huge sigh of relief for the Moreland bench as Dos Santos and Norbury rolls it back for Dos Santos. That's lovely. And Dos Santos has a hit. And he wasn't far away, KDS. It's agonizingly wide of that far post. And just when you think they're rattled, they find a way to hit on the break with Parthemos. To Angelatos, could only find Dos Santos. And Moreland at the moment have had to weather a storm as Apostolakis looks for Norbury, who tried to take it down for Papa Constantinu. who in the end just couldn't find a foot on it. As Berikali enters court for Western United. Still a single Adam Cooper goal separates these two sides. Darcy Skopolidis does come closest since, rattling the post. As Berikali in those in green can restart proceedings. Aaron Yu has Jerry Angelatos, instead goes long towards Soto, and Dos Santos ushers him out well, brilliantly. Postolakis has too short, uses KDS. Now Norbury. Papa Constantinou looking to turn his way past two, skipped by Soto with ease. Ali. Norbury. Dos Santos. Norbury once more. They try to work the angle, and Ali, it just had too much on it and he couldn't quite keep it in. And Jerry Angelatos gets the chance to reload for Western United, and Aaron Yu. What can they conjure from here? They need an answer. Parthamos to Soto, rolls it through the legs. And another close chance. It was a brilliant ball from Gerardo Soto. And they were desperately unlucky at the back post, Western United. Moreland looked to have made a bit of a mess of it, but got themselves out of jail well enough. It was Berikali who couldn't apply the finishing touch as Ali skips it for Dos Santos. And Yu gathers, looks to go long. Ali didn't quite guess it, but Papa Constantinou was there to clean up and shepherd it out. As we head towards the halfway point in this first half, it has been a game of ebbs and flows so far. Dos Santos returns from Papa Constantinou. Pimenta. Moreland looking to apply some calm, trying to draw the press in. The call is for patience as Pimenta. Papa Constantinou skips by Soto but couldn't find Ali. And now Parthamos is able to work the angle. Had to go the long way round Dos Santos. In the end, couldn't find Angelatos but can find a corner. And they're starting to make this pressure count, Western United. You can sense the screw is being turned. And all they need to pick the lock is an equaliser. No team has done it so far this season. Can those in green be the first? Berikali looks at his options. Parthamos short, Galpa near post. Angelatos backstick. Parthamos headed into Apostolakis. Galpa in turn hit it to Papa Constantinou. And Moreland get away with one, but it comes back to Aaron Yu, who in turn goes long and couldn't find anybody. This is a really good spell from those in green. They just can't make it count at the moment. Apostolakis didn't know a lot about that one, but was able to get a kneecap in the way. And Pimenta and Dos Santos get it started once more. Tries to clip down the line, couldn't find it past Angelatos. The word from the Moreland bench is calm. There's Barragos. Finds Dos Santos, has Ali wide and uses him. Tried to skip by Parthamos but couldn't. Berikali, can it open up for him? Dos Santos forces him to go back to Galpa, who just about kept it in play. Berikali once more. Now Parthamos, Yu. Has too long, uses Berikali, who took that down and skipped by Dos Santos well, but just couldn't keep his footing. And in the end, Apostolakis can claim comfortably and find Ali. Pimenta. Tried to roll in Barragos, but Parthamos was alert to that. And in the end, shouts for a free kick from the Western bench are turned down, but they had every right to make that claim. Commentary side will show just a bit of grappling as Galpa finds Parthamos. Tried to work the shot, but the touch was too heavy. Ali has two to get past in Western green. In the end, does well to keep the ball. As there's shouts for a yellow card from Pimenta. The referee's hearing his grievance here. There's a conversation to be had and potentially a decision to be made. Enrique Pimenta was certainly incensed. And whatever happened, and he goes long for Ali. No matter what happened, the yellow card was not brandished as Galpa flings one into touch. Barragos left it for Pimenta. whose shot was high but not too handsome. And Aranu can restart things, has Galper and Parthemos. Galper's made a darting run long, and he does find him. Galper pulled it down well, but Baragos recovered with him all the way. And in turn is happy to concede the corner. Galper to take this time. He has 2 on the edge. Parthemos as Berekali darts inward. Rolls it for Parthemos, trying to work the angle for the shot. Berekali tried the return ball, and Baragos, alert to the danger, could just hoof it anywhere. It will do for Moreland right now. Since they've gone a goal down, Western United have ramped up the pressure. Angelatos, Berekali sort of sold him into a cul-de-sac, and Baragos, after Pimenta had a stab, in turn stuck a foot in. Parthemos for Aranu. Berekali lost out to Dos Santos after a heavy touch, and De Souza can only clear towards the commentary box. And that's a deft little touch from the man on the Western United touchline. Berekali rolls it for Hughes, cleared out by Pimenta, and that one will be a yellow card, as he has something to say to the referee, who orders him back to brandish this game's first booking. And you could just sense the first lunge Enrique Pimenta made might have put him in hot water after his earlier anger at a missed yellow card. He is the first into the book this evening, as Aranu will roll for Parthemos, and Pimenta had another lunge. He's got to be careful. Can't afford 2 quick yellows. He would hate to walk, and Moreland would hate to be a man down, being a goal up. Baragos, as Pimenta rides his good fortune, finds Cooper, who clips it long for De Souza. Galper at his back. Robson De Souza tried to skip by Berekali, in turn could only hit the court. Cooper rolled it for Baragos, now Pimenta. Back with Adam Cooper. De Souza tried to skip by Galper, nearly got in. That's a brilliant challenge. And in turn, Tal Galper has been penalised. It will be a Moreland free kick for his lunge. Those in green on the bench, unhappy. They sensed it was all ball in that challenge. As we will have a bit of froth on court, and the mop is needed, as we finally get the chance to have a bit of a break in this one. Since the opening goal, it has been non-stop, end-to-end action. Adam Cooper, who opened the scoring, has the chance to double the Blues' advantage from the dead ball here. Once the court is cleared, or froth or anything otherwise, it will be the Moreland number 3, who has De Souza and Pimenta. Cassine, who's re-entered, could look to break to the back stick. Cooper himself just surveying the angle. He's accustomed to a sweet drive as Adam Cooper. Hughes organised the wall and the defence. Cooper rolls it for Cassine, who in turn couldn't quite find De Souza, but you got down to the shot instead and parried it for a corner. De Souza takes. Cooper has Cassine if he chooses to go quickly. Dos Santos came short. Cooper couldn't find anyone bar Parthemos, and Dos Santos did well to win it back. Dos Santos, he looked to roll in De Souza, and in the end, Western United just about sorted that one out. Kevin Dos Santos, now deepest for Moreland. Little 1-2 with Cassine, now De Souza. Cooper. Adam Cooper, one-on-one with Angelatos. What can he work? Rolls it for Cassine, who decided to have it hit. De Souza took it down, rolled it for Dos Santos, and Aranu once again stuck out a leg and was alert to the danger, equal to the challenge. They take it quickly, and Angelatos had Berekali if he wanted to hit the break. Parthemos does, and Adam Cooper read that perfectly. That was brilliant defending from the number 3, as Moreland could have been in danger. It all opened up for Berekali on the break there. Angelatos just couldn't find him. Instead, Parthemos had the right idea. But this man here, Cooper, alert to the danger as he finds Dos Santos, who skips by Angelatos. It's Dos Santos! And Aaron Yu again gets fingertips to it and makes another fabulous save. But D'Souza wants to continue the onslaught. It comes away to Angelatos. Now Galpa. Parthemos rolls it for Angelatos. Apostolakis had to come and did get there. Anywhere would do from the keeper. And he concedes possession to his opposite number as Parthemos rolls for Angelatos, immediately under pressure from KDS. He clips it now in towards Galpa. Did well to get the right side of Cooper. Angelatos, ushered by two Moreland players, got it back to Galpa and then Parthemos. Parthemos once more, now Angelatos. Back with Parthemos, and after a frantic phase, Western United looking to calm things down, but it's opened up for Angelatos, who rolled it square. It found its way out to Galpa, who skipped by Dos Santos and rolled it wide. It just opened up for Tao Galpa then for a second. A man who's been so prolific in front of goal so far this season. But he just fell off balance and dragged his shot. And in the end, the Moreland sheet remains clean as Dos Santos. Cassine, now Adam Cooper. D'Souza. Cooper once more uses Dos Santos. Clips down the line for Cassine. That's a fabulous ball back in for Dos Santos, who sat down Angelatos, sat down Yu, who made the save. They're still under pressure, Western United, as Robson D'Souza for Cooper, who tried to roll in Cassine. Yu stuck out a leg in hope more than anything. And in the end, Western United get away with one. That was a brilliant ball from Adam Cooper. So incisive as Yu goes long towards Skopolidis. Cooper's in the way once more. They nearly carved those in green open, did Moreland. And were inches away from doubling their advantage, or at least making Yu work some more. Angelatos for Luke Ross. Parthemos. Ross, who has Skopolidis wide, danced his way past Dos Santos, who stuck a leg out and gave away a free kick in a position where the cannon would certainly fancy his chances of firing United level. And just as he tries to, those for United look to issue a timeout as the froth mop is called once more. And it has been granted. Western United call timeout prior to a free kick in a promising position. As currently, it is Moreland 1, Western United 0.
Low self-esteem. Was me and my mama just us in the trauma. Hands up if you know what I mean. I see you, I feel you. I want you to know that you're not alone. I know what it's like not to have a home. On the boat, feel like I live in the end zone. I'm the one leading the drives. Riding around in a benzo.
We return from a timeout break. A free kick in a promising position for those in Western Green. Ross and Parthemos stood over it as D'Souza is the one man stood in the wall. Apostolakis organising his defensive troops. Parthemos could certainly wind up from here. It will be Parthemos. He rolls it for Skopolidis and then Ross. They worked that well, did Western United, but just couldn't apply the finish in the end. Luke Ross had a stab more than a shot at that one. And in the end, Moreland rides out the wave. Cooper from Apostolakis. Cassine. Now Dos Santos, who has De Souza and finds him. What can they conjure? Cassine. Dos Santos, Cooper. They work it so well. Back with Kevin Dos Santos and Cooper once more. Moreland happy to keep things calm. They do lead by an Adam Cooper goal to nil after all, as Cassine finds him once more, who clips it down the line for Cassine, who tried to run but couldn't get past Parthemos. And we head towards the final 6 minutes of an entertaining and action-packed first half so far. It is Cooper and Cassine who tried to roll it for De Souza, and Luke Ross, alert to the danger, clears. Only as far as Apostolakis. Now Dos Santos. De Souza put under pressure from Ross. Dos Santos tried to skip by 2 Western players, and it falls for Luke Ross, who tried to roll in Skopolidis. And in the end, Cassine just got a foot in. They keep possession, but it could have been so much more for Western United. As Luke Ross. Skopolidis breaks. He looked to find him, but Cassine was alert to the danger all the way. And stuck a foot in. Ross once more. Uses Parthemos. Has Jakub wide and finds him, does Luke Ross. Jakub skits by Cooper. It is David Jakub. Dos Santos got in the way. And now can Moreland go the other way? Cassine held his run, but eventually is found by Dos Santos. He rolls it towards De Souza, who wasn't on his bike at the far post. And what could have been a promising break just broke down for the Moreland Blues. They've spent a little period of this first half under pressure. You can sense that they are in the ascendancy once more. As Western United rode out a bit of a storm prior to that free kick. Skopolidis looked for Jakub, but couldn't get it past the Moreland defensive wall. Jakub protests his innocence. However, Cooper and Moreland will restart things. Cassine. Face to face with Parthemos. Rolls it to Adam Cooper, who had Cassine continuing, chose to switch to Dos Santos, who looked to roll in Ali, but Jakub, alert to the danger, did very well. Now Skopolidis and Parthemos, who clipped it back for him. That's a smashing ball. Dos Santos cut it out brilliantly. Ali, that's a nice clip. Finds Adam Cooper, who can play him in once more. Dances past Jakub, tried to dance past Ross. Couldn't get in the way, but again, they tried to apply the finish to Moreland. Anywhere will do, and Parthemos via Skopolidis eventually gets it clear for those in green. It was a bit chaotic at the back there for Western United. And you can really sense that they're trying to ride out the storm that Moreland are trying to impose at the moment. There's Dos Santos trying to keep it from going. Cooper. Jakub from Parthemos tried to find Ross, but could only find Ali. Moreland almost happy to slow it down. They have possession and they have the territory, as well as the advantage so far in this one. It's Cooper. Has Dos Santos wide and uses him. Papa Constantinu's gone down the line if KDS so chooses. He goes with Cooper instead. Trying to turn the screw, Dos Santos face to face with Jakub. Ali broke down the line and he found him. A second for Moreland would be huge prior to the break. The next goal in this one of vital importance to see how this second half will be set up. Papa Constantinu. Ali. Cooper. Works it wide. Dos Santos rolled it down the line for Ali and continued his run. The call is to keep the ball, and Papa Constantinu and Cooper oblige their managerial wishes. Put under pressure from Soto now as he couldn't beat him. Chooses to go all the way home to Apostolakis. And now goes long Cooper, but couldn't get it past Parthemos, who in turn could only clear trying to find Soto. 3 minutes 40 then of an enthralling first half. And so far, for all Western United's efforts and their might, they are yet to break through and find a leveller. Pimenta. Rolls it for Papa Constantinu. Can Moreland find a second before the break? as he skips by two brilliantly, one of them being Jakub, but couldn't find Ali with the ball. A little bit of spark added into that one, and it opened up for the Blues momentarily, but in the end, the ball just had too much on it. As Luke Ross gets the restart proceedings with Jakub. Ross once more clips it down the line for Galper, who has Jakub inside. It's the right idea. It just had too much on it, and he played it a touch too early for David Jakub. As this one, post the opening goal, has gone through phases of being cagey and being free-flowing. Cooper tried to clip it back for Papakonstantinou, but could only find touch. And you sense that prior to the break, the Blues wouldn't mind if this one re-entered the cage for a little bit. They know United will push. You know they're the masters of a goal before half-time. They love a late leveller going into the break. Soto couldn't clip one to Jakub. They weren't quite on the same page. And Pimenta happy to usher that one out of play. Apostolakis, Pimenta looks to arrow it long for Ali. But in the end, it came to no avail. Restart things for Western United. Galper came short, then went long. Goes to Soto, who has Galper if he chooses. Soto had a hit. And Apostolakis stuck a hand out and was able to gather. He goes long for Pimenta, who's flick on. Calls Aranu into action. He did very well up until the ball to Soto. Two very, very tidy saves from both keepers at either end. Aranu with a sharp reflex, stuck a right palm out, and was able to stop Pimenta's innovative and audacious header from finding the back of the net. Papakonstantinou in turn finds Cooper. Ali, that's a lovely turn. Has Papakonstantinou. Ali goes himself, and Yu makes another brilliant save. Some more simply excellent goalkeeping from Aranu as it opened up for Ali, and it opens up for Papakonstantinou, who rattles his shot off Luke Ross. Instead of the caginess, it may well be a late flurry from Moreland. Just under 2.5 remain. Pimenta finds Cooper. Adam Cooper has a hit. Tried to find Pimenta back post. Yu was alert to the situation and looks long for Jakub. It just didn't have enough on it. He needed it to hold up, and he tried his best, did Yu. But it couldn't quite find Jakub as Cooper carries out for Ali. Back with Adam Cooper once more. Pimenta. Cooper again. Papakonstantinou came deepest. Adam Cooper nearly lost his footing on court before finding Pimenta, who tried to clip one into Ali, and Jakub ushered him off it. And Papakonstantinou in turn found Pimenta with a challenge. Luke Ross got in the way. Galper has to clear. Can only go as far as Cooper, who's put under immediate pressure. In the end, he goes back to Apostolakis. And Pimenta once more clips down the line for Ali. This time wins out against Soto. And Moreland are able to keep it calm as Cooper goes long, looking in the channel for Ali, who has Papakonstantinou if he so chooses. Rolls it for Cooper, who quickly switches for Pimenta. Papakonstantinou tried to skip by Galper and couldn't in the end. It was nervy at the back for a second there for those in Western United green. All before that challenge from Tal Galper relieves a lot of pressure. 80 seconds. Can either side find something? In just under 1:20 now to send us into half-time, either level pegging or with some Moreland breathing room. It's Pimenta. We'll look to get the Blues on their way once more and to see if they can instate that 2-goal buffer. He skips by Ross. Dos Santos had to check his run before going. Opens up for Pimenta and Aranu again. That's a brilliant stop. Called into action once more. He's received a flurry in this first half as the Western United keeper, and once more he's equal to the challenge. As Moreland have a corner, and Pimenta has the initiative to calm it down and try and open the angle, face to face with Parthamos, then Luke Ross. Papakonstantinou skips by Ross. Dos Santos. Pimenta has D'Souza in the pivot if he fancies. Pimenta trying to cut inside. Rolls it for Papakonstantinou. And Aaron once again makes a smart save at the expense of a corner. But Moreland are not letting up prior to half-time. It is full throttle into the break for those in blue, who look to end on a high, but that corner can only find the side netting. And you can release Skopolidis. It's Darcy Skopolidis, thought about going first time, decided to take it under, and it allowed D'Souza to nip in. Got them level prior to the break last week, did Darcy Skopolidis. And level prior to full time. It was a late brace in either half to square proceedings, and how Western United in the final 16 seconds would love a bit of that magic right now. Skopolidis, Parthamos tried to skip by D'Souza. They wanted a foul, nothing doing. Apostolakis, Dos Santos trying to calm things down prior to the break. Has Pimenta wide, and Golpa stepped in. Has a hit before the break. Dos Santos got a block in the way. It is Skopolidis who couldn't get it out from under his feet and couldn't get the shot away, but it was a frantic end to a thrilling first half here in Darabin. And half-time, it came early, but they've held on to it since, and thanks to Adam Cooper's early hit, it is Moreland Blues 1, Western United 0.
Low self-esteem. It was me and my mama, just us in the trauma. Hands up if you know what I mean. I see you, I feel you. I want you to know that you're not alone. I know what it's like not to have a home. Feel like I live in the end zone. I'm the one leading the drives. The crew riding around in a Benzo. Red I've been in charge of my own fate. Left the excuses behind. Now I'm the illest violinist alive. I took the pain and I thrive, but look at me now. Low self-esteem. It was me and my mama, just us in the trauma. Hands up if you know what I mean. I see you, I feel you. I want you to know that you're not alone. I know what it's like not to have a home. Feel like I live in the end zone. I'm the one leading the drives. The crew riding around in a Benzo. Red I've been in charge of my own fate. Left the excuses behind. Now
As we return from half-time here in Darebin, it's been a tactical contest at that. In the opening 20, Moorland, with an early Adam Cooper goal to nil, leads Western United, who have been knocking on the door since then. Those in green close to a leveller. It would be the first goal in which Moorland have conceded so far this season. And Christos Apostolakis has already been called into action as the first player of the month so far. His 3 clean sheets all in all are why this defence is so strong. He's made a few brilliant saves to boot. Last week in particular, he was at his brilliant best. And Moorland will have to be at their brilliant best, as will those in Western United green, if either are to find something from this one. The Blues hold a 1-0 lead, but it can deteriorate, we understand that, because United, they won't run out of steam as De Souza gets us back underway for the second half, and Cooper finds Barragos, who in turn goes long for Kevin Dos Santos, and Aaron Yu, called in early off his line, makes a strong clearance. And Adam Cooper able to have an early hit. Yu happy to watch it go wide. But you sense now the Moorland are going to try and fly out of the traps, similar to how they did last week, and apply that 2-goal buffer, just for some blue breathing room. They haven't had a lot of it in their last hour of futsal. As Yu went long for Skopolidis, who tried to apply a flicking touch. And Dos Santos got from Apostolakis as a result. Now De Souza has Cooper short. Dos Santos went wide and he rolled it to him, tried to skip by Skopolidis. Darcy stuck a foot in, but KDS kept going. Barragos came in support. And in the end, Western United will come away with it. Berakali. Ross clips it for Skopolidis. Cooper stuck a chest out. And De Souza is there to usher it out of play. It was a bit stop-starty like this in the first half at times, in between passages of free-flowing open futsal. What they don't want, those in green, is for it to go back into its cage. You sense where that's where Moorland may thrive in this one. Holding that slender advantage is always important. As Parthemos and Ross look to get Western United going. Back with Parthemos. Barakli came short for him. Skopolidis went down the line. He instead uses Ross once more, who's put under immediate pressure from Dos Santos. And in the end, United will have to try a different combination to pick the Moorland lock. Luke Ross. Yu. Has Parthemos wide. Chooses to try and clip Skopolidis long, and Apostolakis and Cooper alert to the danger. It is now Adam Cooper. Barragos. Dos Santos. Cooper. Apostolakis saying no as an option as Cooper's backed into a corner. He did very well to get out of it. Barragos with Cooper. That was lovely from Moorland. And Dos Santos skipped by Ross. And he has Barragos far side as well as De Souza. He looked for the number 8. And now it breaks for Luke Ross. Couldn't find Parthemos as the back post as Dos Santos did brilliantly to recover. And De Souza tried to keep it in but ran out of room. It nearly opened up for a Western United equaliser. But Kevin Dos Santos recovered expertly to keep it at 1-0. That was huge, especially since it was his ball that didn't quite come off. He recovered perfectly. As Skopolidis, Jakub, Parthemos to Ross. Goes down the line for Jakub, who turns Barragos, cuts it back for Skopolidis. That was the early moment to get level. And Darcy Skopolidis just got a little bit too much under it. Moorland blushes spared as they were opened up. And can they go the other way with Dos Santos and Cooper? Rolls it wide for Barragos. Cooper once more, now Dos Santos. Skopolidis comes to apply the press. Rolls it for De Souza. Back for Dos Santos! It's in! Kevin Dos Santos, via a deflection, makes it 2-0 to Moorland, and they have the early goal they craved at the start of this second half. It's some breathing room for the Blues. It was a clever touch from De Souza, who gave it back to Dos Santos. Aaron Yu looked to the sky as he hit the deck. And Western United now have it all to do in order to regain something. What can they work? We spoke about the early Moreland flurry, and it has come to fruition. They have that second goal, and they want to make it 3 quickly. Pimenta made a darting run to the back post. Cooper tried to find him quickly, and Ross got an important flick on to get it out of there. The call is to stretch proceedings, and that is how they acquired their second. Beautiful bit of end-to-end futsal as Dos Santos and Cooper. Pimenta looks to clip Dos Santos in again. Luke Ross alert to the danger, and Yakub was fouled by Pimenta, who you must remember is already on a booking. He must exercise caution in this second half. Should Enrique Pimenta, they don't want to be a man down. Even though they have the 2-goal buffer, it is a dangerous game to play with how much we know this Western side likes to come from behind to stab something. Mops on court. A bit of froth clearance as Elias Parthamos stands over the free kick. He has Ross shortest, Yakub down the line, and Gulper, if he so fancies, on the switch. Yu's now broken the other way. Encourage Gulper to go centrally. He hits Ross. Now Parthamos. Moreland go high immediately as they sense the opportunity for a mistake and a third, and they force the false ball, and Adam Cooper can restart. Pimenta. Cooper tried the 1-2. Pimenta did brilliantly. It's Enrique Pimenta. You got behind it and was solid. Now Parthamos looking to cut inside. Couldn't find a way past Pimenta, but could find Luke Ross, who in turn tried to clip one to Yakub, and Dos Santos was able to read the danger. Has Pimenta wide, or could go alone. Tried to roll Pimenta, and Parthamos stuck a foot out. And Moreland need to be a little bit careful as Cooper rolls for Dos Santos. Pimenta breaks down the line. Ali trying to hold centre. Kevin Dos Santos face to face with Ross. Now Cooper, Pimenta, Dos Santos. They play it patiently. Ali came wide. Cooper once more. Pimenta's made a darting run, and Ali finds him. It's Pimenta, it's Dos Santos. Aaron Yu did brilliantly after he was sat down. Dos Santos, it's a real scrap in there. Ali had a shot away, couldn't break the wall. Galpa tried to skip by Ali and won a free kick in turn. And Ali, for his troubles, will go into the book amidst Moreland protest. It was pure chaos. Aaron Yu was sat down by Dos Santos, did expertly to make the save, and is in a bit of strife for it. Clutching his elbow. Is the subplot developing here? And we dearly hope the number 18 is all right. It looked like an awkward one, but he had to be there to make the save and prevent Moreland trebling the lead. As after a little squabble, they all reset for the free kick. Ross and Angelatos both stood over this one. Angelatos faked. Ross decided to have a hit. Angelatos came across the front post, and Apostolakis once more alerts to the danger. And that is why he's Player of the Month. So sharp and alert in all of Moreland's outings so far has been their number one, the real backbone of what is currently the best defence in the league, as Angelatos, via a deflection, could only find Apostolakis once more. And Cooper can go long for Pimenta as his ball ricochets off the chain in the roof, and Western United will get the chance to reset. Jerry Angelatos will take for Luke Ross. Now Aaron Yu. Ross stays wide. Galpa there, and Angelatos for Ross! He got round it, but couldn't get over it. It opened up for Luke Ross. It's one of the first real looks he's had this evening. And he sensed he may want that one back as he wrapped it round nicely, but just got under it a bit too much and sent it flying over the net of Apostolakis. As Pimenta could only find Ross and Galpa. Angelatos. Deflected wide off Adam Cooper. Who is interested to know about what foul as they tick over once more for Moreland. To their number 3's disbelief. That is their 4th already in this second half, and we haven't played 5 minutes. As Angelatos, Philippe Ross, Aranu. Jerry Angelatos went short. Angus Long could only find Apostolakis, who looked for Pimenta, and Ross got in the way. Galpa returned the favour by returning him the ball, and Angelatos tried to stab in, but Ali got there. Cooper for Pimenta. Tried to twist and turn his way out of a green wall. Found Ali, who could lay it for Cooper. It opened up momentarily before Ross closed down. Ali with Cooper once more. Rolls it wide for Norbury. Ali. Moreland just exercising a calm hand as Cooper from Norbury hits Pimenta. Cooper once more. This is a good spell for the Blues. Pimenta. For Adam Cooper, who looked for Ali at the back post. Ross got an important foot in. Anywhere will do for Galpa. And Western United, without even knowing it, were put under immense pressure from those in blue there. Norbury for Cooper once more. Has Pimenta face to face with Angelatos. Trying to cut inside. It is Pimenta! And Aranu once again level to the challenge. Rolls it for Soto. Has Parthemos alongside him. Cavalry has arrived in the form of the cannon. Trying to cut inside away from Ali. Couldn't skip by Norbury in turn. We shut the door, but Parthemos kept going, and Apostolakis was there off the loose touch. Goes long for Ali. Face to face with Angelatos, who's just sitting off, waiting for some defensive support. Cooper, Pimenta. Opens up for Pimenta, and Angelatos stuck a foot out. And in the end, that was more than enough. Just under 14 remain. This second half has been action-packed, albeit in its opening stages. It's Pimenta from Cooper. And now Norbury tried to find Pimenta again. And Angelatos stuck a foot out and cleared. But you just sense the feeling that Moreland are starting to get a hold on this one. United need to break the spell before it's too late. As Cooper finds Norbury, now back with Cooper. Looks to clip long for Pimenta, who made the run. Went around Soto, but ran out of room. And eventually found himself in the wall, did Enrique Pimenta. As the Moreland press gets set, Gerardo Soto uses Aaron Yu as we get back underway. Yu looks long towards Angelatos. That's a smashing ball and a great header. Back towards his brother Angus. In the end, there was nobody home and he just timed the run a bit too early, allowing Cooper and Moreland to usher it out of play. And Norbury. Cooper. Clips for D'Souza, that's a clever ball. And D'Souza let it run, and Aaron Yu made an elastic save at the expense of a corner. Robson D'Souza just turned the corner and went up a gear, fired a shot goalwards, and Aaron Yu was level to the challenge. It's a brilliant stop once more from the number 18. Norbury, D'Souza, Cooper. Trying to skip by Parthemos, instead left it for Pimenta, and Parthemos came away with it, and Apostolakis made the save. Soto and Apostolakis once more with a brilliant double save. And now Moreland can go the other way. Pimenta tried to go past Angelatos, couldn't, and it opens up for Angelatos, who had Parthemos back post. Adam Cooper stuck a foot out, and both teams get away with one in successive seconds after an unbelievable double stop from Christos Apostolakis. Keeps the clean sheets intact once again for Moreland. As Parthemos finds Aaron Yu, and can Western United find the intensity they just did on the break. So number 18 has Angelatos short, rolls it for Soto. It is Gerardo Soto via a deflection. It crashed off the backward side of the upright. It didn't rattle the bar, it looped over onto the back of the outside of the net's roof. And it will be a Western United corner. Can they start a good spell of their own? They've been under the pump in the opening 7.5. As Angelatos rolls for Parthemos. It might just open up for Parthemos! Apostolakis down well again to make the save. Angelatos, Cassine stuck a foot in. As Parthemos trying to turn the angle. Angelatos pushed Cassine over. And Parthemos is refusing to give the ball back, taking his time in transition. As it all gets a bit argy-bargy, and Adam Cooper, for his reaction in turn, is also getting a talking to. The question being asked of where Elias Parthemos was looking to go with that one. Relatively rightly so. That's a real cheeky part of the dark arts. As Cooper finds Norbury. Cooper once more. Soto, he couldn't. Finds Angelatos, look to give it back to Soto. And Cooper in turn stuck a leg out and is adjudged to have gotten a foot on it at the expense of a corner. And Moreland are absolutely fuming at that decision. Those in black are incensed and they may need to keep their heads here. All on the bench who are raised are asked to sit down as they were before. As Western United have a corner. Angelatos. Soto couldn't find Parthemos. Instead, Aaron Yu, who's been very impressive this evening. He calls for calm. It may open up for him momentarily. Finds Parthemos. Face to face with Cassine. Trying to work the angle. Angelatos back to Parthemos. Rolls it for Angelatos. Those two having a nice 1-2. Parthemos has a hit. And Apostolakis got down well. It's another strong foot from the number one, but they're not done yet. Cassine tried to stick a foot into good effect. Norbury skipped by Angelatos. Has Cassine back post. Looked to find him. And Cassine just couldn't apply the finishing touch. That was a brilliant ball from James Norbury, having skipped by on the break. And Cassine was desperately unlucky not to apply even a shin to it. As Yu goes long for Skopolidis. Cassine ushers it out of play as Berakali wasn't on the same page as his number 15. D'Souza, face to face with Parthemos. Couldn't get by Skopolidis, who came back in retreat. And D'Souza, bit of body from Skopolidis, and Adam Cooper in well. Berakali took a loose touch, and the number 3 clears towards the Fitzroy contingent, who have made their way inside Darabin. It's Parthemos. Has Ross short if he likes it. Uses Luke Ross. Can they work the angle? Can they conjure something and give themselves an avenue? It's Parthemos and Apostolakis. Holds very, very well. D'Souza. Tried to play Cassine, but too much on it. And Western United right now, with just over half of the second half remaining, need to find something if they are to get back into this game. It hasn't been all Moreland by any stretch of the imagination, but they've made it count in their dominant spells thus far, as Parthemos had a stab. Rolls wide of the far post, and Apostolakis again can reset with the goal unblemished. D'Souza. Lifted it for Cassine down the line. Could only find a wall of green. Now Skopolidis, Luke Ross. Put under immediate pressure, goes back to Yu. That's a lovely ball from Aaron Yu to find Berakali, who turned Adam Cooper. Dos Santos tried to make the recovery. Cooper stuck a thigh in and got in the way. And in the end, Moreland worked themselves out of a tricky situation. Berakali did brilliantly to turn the number 3 as D'Souza challenged. And Skopolidis! Apostolakis tips out for a corner. It was a strong save, but once again, those on the Moreland bench are well and truly in raptures about that challenge on D'Souza as Apostolakis claims A pretty tame ball from Berakali and releases Dos Santos straight away, who instead of blazing goes for calm with Cassine. KDS. Cooper. Cassine once more. Now Dos Santos. Cooper clips one for Cassine. That's a lovely ball. Tried to get inventive to find Dos Santos, who in turn had to hurdle over Berakali, who played it back to Aaron Yu and Luke Ross. Berakali. Parthamos. Down the line for Skopolidis, who has D'Souza in his back, and Robson D'Souza does well to usher it out of play. Skopolidis in very strongly, as he pushes Robson D'Souza into the seated area. The question is asked of a booking on the Moreland bench. And the feeling around here is that Darcy Skopolidis might have got away with one in terms of escaping further punishment. A talking to is all for now, as Apostolakis has words to those in yellow. This game is right at the boil in Darebin as Parthamos gets up. You sense it is one more challenge away from its breaking point. Cassine, down the line for Ali. Had Cassine, who continued, instead found Cooper, now Dos Santos. Rolls it back for Ali. Cooper. Ali once more. Moreland exercising a bit of control and patience as Dos Santos receives from Ali. Tries to cut inside, being face to face with Berakali. Ali once more uses Kevin Dos Santos. It opens up for Cassine, and Berakali got in the way. That's a crucial foot in, as he was just about to pull the trigger, was the number 16. Yu rolls for Luke Ross, who's put under immediate pressure. Berakali gave it away only as far as Ali. It opens up for Ali. Ross slid in and eventually was sat down. Adam Cooper. What can they work from here, Moreland? Dos Santos trying to work it. It's Cooper's shot, and it rolls just wide. And Western United, nearly the architects of their own downfall, giving the ball away in such a dangerous position. As the froth mop re-enters court once more. It's had a lot of action so far this evening in what has been another hot and steamy night in Darebin. And that tension and ferocity has transferred on court. These two bubbling away have been simmering for most of this second half. 4 fouls for Moreland. United committed their first in the form of that Skopolidis nudge out on D'Souza. As Yu rolls for Parthamos. Has Ross short and uses him. Skopolidis moves infield as Parthamos recollects. Skopolidis back to the number 6. Ross. Berakali's widest. Rolls it for Skopolidis, who couldn't get it under. Just a touch too much on it from Luke Ross. And once again, Moreland can reset with just over 8 remaining. Western United, you may sense, might just be starting to force it as Barragos and Dos Santos combine. It is KDS, bit of a step over, cuts inside, sits Ross down, Dos Santos! That was nearly a wonderful goal, and it was matched by a wonderful save from Aaron Yu. He pulled that out of the top drawer to potentially keep United in this one. Barragos' corner flashed across the face with nobody home at the back stick. That was a crucial intervention from Aaron Yu. As Parthamos ushers over. The clock may now becoming a factor. Luke Ross. Parthamos once more. Aaron Yu. Rolled it for Angelatos. Brothers combining as Ross finds Parthamos. Look to find Yu on the far side, but once again the Moreland press held firm. The kitchen sink may be about to be thrown by those in green, as you sense the forceful nature of their approach is starting to kick on, as Ali had a flash. And it was a whisker away from that far post. Aaron Yu, a relieved man to see that fly wide, as he finds Angelatos on the long ball. Ross. They make it work between the three of them, do the Western United boys. That was good. Parthamos down the line for Angelatos. Ross again. This is fabulous futsal. Can they make it count? They can win a corner as Adam Cooper was in the way of that Luke Ross cross. But Western United in the middle of a good passage here as Parthamos finds you, nearly sold him short. Ali was clipping at the heels. Angelatos. Ross. Parthamos. Ross once more. Baragos wins in. Ross to Angelatos. They do well to win it back to Western United and use Aranu. Angelatos may open up for him, who had a drive. Couldn't get much connection, being hustled by Dos Santos, and Apostolakis able to claim that easily. Ali. Trying to twist and turn his way through the Western United duo. Runs out of room on his ball to Dos Santos, and Western United get the chance to reset. You sense that if they're going to make a late lunch for it, it might need to be now. Ross for Aranu. Back with Luke Ross. Angelatos made the run. Instead, he uses Parthamos. Ross once more. Baragos does well. Counted the heavy touch and stuck himself in the way. And once again, the chance goes begging. And Baragos will get us underway once more. Cooper rolls it for Dos Santos. Baragos tried to let it run for Adam Cooper, but there was nobody there. And they surrender possession once more to Moreland in an area where Western United can make a serious launch at this one if they play it right. Aranu has Soto widest over on this commentary side, uses Gerardo Soto. Back with you, Parthamos. Angelatos. Cooper stuck a foot in, it came back out to you. Angelatos once more, the brothers looking to combine, and Apostolakis was happy to see that one out. Gathers and rolls to Dos Santos. Had Baragos instructing to calm things down, and he did to Cooper. Now Miguel Baragos. Cooper once more. Clips it for Ali, who took a heavy touch, and Angelatos stole in. Soto, Parthamos. One-on-one with Adam Cooper. Takes him the long way round, and Apostolakis gets a good hand. Rolls out to Soto. And Western United get a corner from a crucial Moreland intervention. Apostolakis thanks the defence, and Gerardo Soto hit that with real venom. Desperately unlucky not to find the net. He may get another look. Instead rolls to Parthamos, who's pressed by Ali. Goes home to you. As Angelatos wide. Uses him. Brothers combine once more. Angus plays Jerry. You. Angelatos. Aranu instructed to hit. Instead finds Parthamos. It opens up for Aranu. Once again takes a deflection. And once again it is a Western United corner as Moreland make two changes. And Angelatos stands over. Parthamos shortest. Ali tried to get there. They stole in. Ali tried to rush it down the line, and it only just runs out of play for him. Moreland need to be cautious here. They can't give away precious opportunities in dangerous areas. The lead is only 2 at that. Norbury. Clipped down the line, but nobody was home, and Western United get to reload again. Inside the final 5 minutes, it is now or it is never for those in green. Papa Constantinou back out on court as well, as Parthamos finds Angelatos and clips down the line. Apostolakis alert to the danger early, and Dos Santos tried to skip by Angelatos. Papa Constantinou in there to clean up. Norbury. Look for Dos Santos, who didn't make the run. And having it been Western United who were looking to force it moments ago, Moreland sensed the security of a third is what they crave. It's Angelatos delayed, then finds Aranu. Has Parthamos deepest, uses him. The cannon, yet to have a proper fire in this one. Aranu. Angelatos, they stole in. Parthamos under pressure from Ali as the net is wide open. He clears anywhere will do. And Moreland get the opportunity now to apply some pressure of their own. It's been a bit scrappy and a bit cagey for all of the last couple of minutes. But Papakonstantinou, face to face with Angelatos, trying to work the angle for the shot. Instead finds Norbury, whose heavy touch only let Parthamos to steal in at the expense of a Moreland corner. 4 to go. Norbury tried to roll in Ali, and Aranu stuck a foot out and got it clear. Papakonstantinou ready to restart. Norbury, Dos Santos. KDS clips it in for Papakonstantinou, rolls it back for Dos Santos! Aranu watched it glide by, but that could have been it. For now, Western United are clinging on, and you goes long for Angelatos. Couldn't find him. Papakonstantinou from Dos Santos on the break. Skipped by Soto. Swept by Yakub. And couldn't apply the finishing touch. It would have been a tidy goal at the end of an amazing run. But it just couldn't apply the finish. And once more, Aranu happy to watch that whiz by the far post as Yakub and Galpa. Angelatos, Yakub tried to spin Dos Santos and Ali got in the way and made sure that it was cleared. They won't mind that now, Moreland. Territory is of the importance. Anywhere in the western half of court is a happy outcome for them now. As Galpa, lovely ball to find Soto, who has a hit. And Apostolakis got a strong hand behind it at the expense of a corner. That's a fabulous ball from Tal Galpa. As Western United are well and truly looking to kick on, the froth mop will once again hinder their chance to gain some consistent and fluent ascendancy. It could be a grandstand final 3. It all depends on how this set piece plays out. Can they find an avenue? They've been deserving of one this evening, and they've had their chances. Unlucky on multiple occasions, the man with the ball in hand, Soto in particular. His misfortune is Moreland's marvel for now. As a break allows an extensive corner discussion. Soto, Angelatos has Yakub and uses him. Galpa's broken down the line, finds their number 4, tries to clip it back for Yakub, and Pimenta did well to get in the way, but Western United win another corner. It was a crucial touch as Yakub looked to spin in behind. And Soto just got too much under it. High, but unfortunately not too handsome from Gerardo Soto in that attempt. And Dos Santos and Moreland can go once more. Norbury, KDS for Pimenta. Put under pressure from Galpa. He did well to skip by not just Galpa, but Soto too. Had his heels clipped out and found Norbury. That was excellent play from Enrique Pimenta. As Dos Santos calls for calm and finds Norbury, who clips up the line to no avail. But they won't mind that, Moreland. Galpa, Angelatos, face to face with Papakonstantinou. Finds Soto. Can't beat Pimenta the first time, does the second, but to no avail. Cannot find somebody in a green shirt. And it is precious seconds soaked off the clock for Moreland. Papakonstantinou has Dos Santos and Norbury. Now KDS. Pimenta, pressed by Soto, looked to clip in Norbury. Yakub, lucky no one was running on as he made a bit of a hash of it. And Aranu did well to get in the way. Galpa. Now Yakub once more. Face to face with Norbury. Dos Santos came across. Yakub cut inside. Nothing doing, says the referee, as Norbury drives on the break. It is Norbury. Dos Santos look for the back post. And Aranu stuck out a foot once more. He has been defiant in making sure Western United do not surrender until that whistle is blown. As Papakonstantinou, who was lurking, rolls for Norbury, deflects off Skopelidis, and now Ross, face to face with Dos Santos. Yakub broke for him. You does now, as there's a defensive shift in that Moreland shape. Ross for you. It is Aranu! That may have been their moment. Aranu, with 90 seconds on the clock, could have springboarded a nervy and truly sumptuous finish. And he was not far away. It arrowed inches over the crossbar. But unfortunately for Western United, time is running out for any more of them to be inches over, as Apostolakis goes long and Parthemos puts a foot in. The call is keep the ball as Cooper comes shortest. And it's Adam Cooper rattles it off Parthemos. Pimenta couldn't get a foot in away from Skopelidis, who tries to roll in Ross and does! That's a brilliant save. Apostolakis Airlines at their finest. A super stop from the Moreland #1 as those out west issue timeout. A minute 18 to go. It is Moreland 2, Western United 0. As we return what may well and truly be the final timeout of an enthralling contest. It was a flying save from Christos Apostolakis that presented Western United with this corner and potentially their final avenue back into this contest. It is Parthemos from Skopelidis and Ross. It is now or never for those in green. Luke Ross. Parthemos once more. They need to find an angle. They need to work something. Skopelidis shortest, you widest. He uses Aranu. And now Luke Ross, they can't break the shape down. And Pimenta dived in. It opened up for Parthemos. Enrique Pimenta stuck a foot out. Did well to recover his own blunder potentially. It's another Western United corner inside the final minute. The Moreland shape was holding firm until Pimenta went for a little foot out. It opened up for those in green and black, but to no avail in the end. The Skopelidis and Parthemos, they work it again. Ross. It opens up for Parthemos, and Pimenta in the way once more. Maybe not the headline goal like last week, but Enrique Pimenta has once again put in a primitive performance. And he could be chasing Ross all the way home as well as Ali did. And it falls to Adam Cooper, who's under pressure from Jakub. They won't mind that as Skopelidis and Ross means that they have to reset once more. It opens for Parthemos! Apostolakis brilliant, and Skopelidis fired over. So many moments, so many looks where you think maybe, just maybe, and Christos Apostolakis once more, as he has been at every opportunity thus far this season, equal to the challenge, ready to answer the call, and that is a huge save to prevent a late surge. 20 to go. As Ross gets from Parthemos and Yu vacates his net. They do work it to Aranu and David Jakub. Dos Santos stuck a foot in. Western gave it a go as Yu Looks to make sure they give it one last go, and Yakub and Pimenta has a go. Ross got in the way. It falls to Ali. That will be that. The most delicate of finishes from Ali. 3 goals, 3 points, and another win for Moreland, who have made it count when it has mattered this evening. Full-time sound shortly after, in a truly brilliant opener. A game where both teams had looks, and a game where both teams could have been level pegging going into it. Moreland were just the more clinical. Western gave it a go, but the Blues stood tall, and they make it 5 straight wins to start the season once more. Another clean sheet for Apostolakis. As full-time in Darabin, it is Moreland 2, Western United 0.
With low self-esteem, it was me and my mama just us in the trauma. Hands up if you know what I mean. I see you, I feel you. I want you to know that you're not alone. I know what it's like not to have a home. Feel like I live in the end zone. I'm the one leading the drives. The crew riding around in a Benzo. Ready to I'm in charge of my own fate. Left the excuses behind. Now I'm the illest violinist alive. I took the pain and I thrive, but look at me now.
We're here with us.
And give it to Scott. Put it in his... No, sorry. Hold it. Nah, put it...
Hey, man. Hello, hello.
Yeah, you see how close you got? That's where I want it. All right? 3, 2, 1, live.
I'm here with Darcy Skopolidis at Western United. Obviously, Darcy, a really tough one for you guys to take tonight. What went wrong out there?
I don't think much went wrong tonight. We're still a young team, still trying to gel. We've got a couple of new players in the squad, still trying to find their way. I think we played well tonight. Moreland are the top side. They've been title contenders for the past how long? Plus Christos been playing out of this world the past couple of games, especially today, pulling saves out from everywhere. So, yeah.
You definitely had some looks tonight, and it seemed like the game went from being quite cagey to quite free-flowing. Was that something you wanted to try and implement to disrupt the way that Moreland played?
Yeah, at half-time, Fernando just told us to play free, take the game on a little bit. No one was taking players on one-on-one. We're playing just very very safe at the start. And against teams like Moreland, Fitzroy, Pasco, Vale, you got to take chances, especially as they're all very defensively structured very well. Yeah, I just think we did well, but yeah.
And obviously this is in the middle of a really important run for you and your team. How will you look to rebound and get yourselves back up for next week?
Just keep training, going back to training, doing the basics, just training hard. We've got Fitzroy next week, another big game. We'll definitely be there trying to beat them. We're just here to try and beat everyone. We want to prove ourselves, especially this year. I think we did well last season, but we want to do better this season as well.
Thank you so much for your time, Darcy. Commiserations, unlucky tonight.
Left the excuses behind. Now I'm the illest violinist alive. I took the pain and I thrive, but look at me now.
All right. Hey, Ethan. Sorry. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, play.
I'm here with Christos Apostolakis from the Moreland Blues. Christos, obviously a really crucial win for your boys tonight. What's the feeling in and around the squad after a big 3 points like that?
Obviously, we've had a really good start to the season, but the message from all the boys in training has been that it's just don't worry about what happened in the last game. Every game, you know, when you're near the top or if you're one of the top couple of teams, every team's going to come out and try and get points off you. So, yeah, it's just been, honestly, like whatever happens in the past is done and just focus on the next week.
And you yourself have been in brilliant form, a clean sheet in every single game you featured in the season. You were Player of the Month for the first month of the season. What have you been working on to make sure that you've been able to make those last-ditch saves and be such an important presence in goal for this side?
To be honest with you, it was a bit of a surprise to win Player of the Month. I was at work and Adam sent it to me. We were both having a bit of a laugh about it. Look, that's a nice accolade, obviously one that not a lot of goalkeepers win, and you know that was great. But I think, obviously, some of the players have, including myself, have played a lot of games on a 40-20 court. And you know, as a keeper as well, you've got to be a bit more rounded. You've got to play the whole court. It's a lot about timing and positioning, and to a certain degree, less shot stopping than what it's been on in previous seasons on a different court. But honestly, I'm just feeling really good and not doing anything different as to what I've done in other seasons. Just really enjoying the new league and you know taking it week by week.
And finally, just one more thing. Is that the message that's being given to the rest of the squad as well? Now that you've gone from being in a position of being the hunters for so long, now you're the hunted within this league, being top of the table. How do you keep a level head going into every week?
It's pretty easy when you've got a lot of senior players like Adam, Enrique, myself, Kevin, Rehan, played at a World Cup. We got a lot of senior boys. You know, it's sort of that old Kobe Bryant message: job's not done. You know, we just got to keep switched on. We know that, you know, whether you're second or first, every team comes out to get points, especially against the big teams like, you know, ourselves and Fitzroy. So the season's just clicking. You know, defensive effort, not just because of me or clean sheets, but just from the whole boys. The willingness to run back, you know, if we're 5 or 6-0 up, the willingness to put their body on the line. You know, if we don't concede goals, or, you know, we concede very, very few goals in games, we'll win most of the ones we step on the court.
Thank you very much for your time and congratulations tonight. Well played.
Thank you.
suffered low self-esteem. It was me and my mama, just us in the trauma. Hands up if you know what I mean. I see you, I feel you. I want you to know that you're not alone. I know what it's like not to have a home. I love you. Feel like I live in the end zone. I'm the one leading the drives. The crew riding round in a benzo. Ready to I'm in charge of my own fate. Left the excuses behind. Now I'm the illest violinist alive. I took the pain and I thrive. But look at me now.
Game 2 in Darebin, and it will be nothing short of unbelievable. Always a fiery affair when these two meet. It is Fitzroy and Pasco Vale. Looking to rebound from a Classico defeat last week are those in pink this evening. It's not rare, and it's not common we talk about Fitzroy being on the rebound. Whereas for Pasco Vale, they've made a bright start to this season, still unbeaten, and with a chance to really keep applying the pressure to league leaders Moorlands at the top of the table. As Robotis finds Rogan, and Fitzroy look to find a fast start as Rogan tried to roll it for Russo down the line, and Michael Newen stuck a foot out. Some big names featuring in this. Tyler Garner's back in Fitzroy pink. Obviously him and Luke Ross as well make it a bit of a Western contingent down in Melbourne this evening. And for Pasco Vale, they've been busy in the free agent market, bringing in Yanni Pira and Victor Poblit. Lions and the Tigers. And you sense the Tigers won't be licking their wounds from last week for too long, but it just gives the Lions a chance to be on the prowl. But Russo's on the prowl here. Had an early striker goal and wins the game's first corner. He nipped in off a Pasco Vale error, Cosy Russo. And in the end, those in white recovered well enough. Fitzroy looking for the fast start, and they have the game's first corner. Russo to take. Has Rogan deepest wicket, and Robotis back post as always. Rolls it for Rogan. Lima stuck a foot out. Newen had Jimenez the other way. Lima got in the way, and now Russo decides to go with Rogan instead of going for broke. Back with Cosy Russo, couldn't sort his feet out, and Jimenez in the end defended well. But there is nothing being pulled from this one in the early exchanges. Jimenez finds Newen. Face to face with wicket. Jimenez once more. Obviously these two, the most successful clubs in this league's history. 21 titles between them, 11 for the Tigers, 10 for the Lions. These are two big cats in the safari that is SFV. And Russo. Wicket to Rogan. And now Harry Robotis skips by Jimenez. It is Harry Robotis who drew Lima as well. Kevin Lamb stuck a foot in, and Pasco Vale being opened up a little bit defensively early on by Fitzroy. Russo's been at the heart of it, a real live wire. As Lima read his ball into wicket and was able to stick a foot in, Robotis sees it out. And you sense that territory may be the early game as Jarvis Jin covers his angles well and stops that ball finding Rogan at the back stick. Immediately looks long towards Lima, whose touch could only give it to wicket, but Lima recovered it well. Jimenez has Kevin Lamb, but couldn't beat out Robotis, who has wicket back post, and Russo arriving. Robotis looked for Russo, and Lima has Newen on the break if he chooses. Lamb to his left. Rolls it for Jimenez. One-on-one with Rogan. Ball back to Newen, just in the wrong direction, but it's all right because Jin can recover. Newen once more. Has Jimenez, and you see that familiar defensive Fitzroy shape. Lima leaves it for Newen and tried to give it to the return. That was a brilliant ball. Lima stuck out a leg and just low. From the team who have made the most noise in the off-season, they are coming for the crown that sits on the head of those in pink. As Robotis tries to roll Russo in down the line. It's another kick in. Has Rogan deepest. Rolls it for Rogan! Jarvis Jim was scrambling, and in the end, happy to see it fly wide. Pasco Vale was slow to react, and it rolled to Scott Rogan. My word, he caught that sweet. It was hit with serious venom. As Pasco Vale concede possession to Wicket, who relaunches with Rogan, has Russo running for him, uses Wicket. Robotis has gone back post. Kevin Lamb stuck a foot in and came away with it. Tried to skip by Wicket and does. Rolls it to Lima. Face to face with Rogan. Tried to work the shot. Lima, Newen, couldn't get it past Wicket. Lima had Rogan clipping at his back. And a bit overzealous was the Fitzroy number 7 to win that one back. And Alison Lima is down, clutching his wrist. It has been a frantic few minutes here in Darebin. Both teams looking to assert themselves on this one. Fitzroy with the early flurry. Pasco Vale starting to grow into it once more. It's Lima, rolls for Jimenez. Now Newen. Down the line for Lamb, who's face to face with Russo. Tried to roll it for Newen, but Jimenez was there to clean up. Back with Kevin Lamb. Jin's come widest, he skips by Robotis. It opens up for Kevin Lamb! He wasn't far away. Maliaros scrambling once more. Happy to see a wide after amazing Lamb run. Opened up for him, he had a hit. He caught it sweet, he just couldn't find the finish. As Fitzroy, having been cut open, are a touch rattled at the moment as Rogan looked down the line but couldn't beat Lamb. Wicket came back to it in the end. Jimenez put himself in and gave away a free kick. Got all man, no ball, and presents the opportunity to Fitzroy. For a chance at an early effort, potentially an early advantage. Rogan stands over. Protest from Lima as Rogan rolls it for Robotis. Look for the back post. Newen stuck a foot out and cleared it anywhere. And it will do for Pasco Vale amidst Alison Lima's protest about the timeliness of that free kick. Rogan resets with Russo. It's back with Scott Rogan. What can Fitzroy conjure? Who will be first to land a punch in this contest? Robotis, wide for Wicket. Tries to skip by Newen, nothing doing. Michael Newen does brilliantly. The Pasco Vale number 5 with a fabulous challenge to usher it out of play. As Chavanan enters the court. Newen has him widest and uses him. Lamb's one further if he fancies. Instead, returns it to Newen. Arn. Newen once more. Face to face with Wicket, trying to skip by. Now Arn, under pressure from Russo, and Fitzroy went higher at the right time. And in the end, that Pasco Vale move broke down at the seams. As Jarvis Jin looks to reset proceedings. Lobs it long, looking for Lima. Maliaros didn't get a hand. It's loopy from Lima, and Maliaros kept it in only just. Looks to give Rogan straight away. Clipped it past Lamb, not as far as Newen. Kevin Lamb has on at the back post if he chooses to use him. Couldn't find a way past Russo. Knocks it by Robotis for Lima. It's Alison Lima, it's into Robotis, and Russo sold Rogan short as Newen stole in. Has Lima but calls for calm as he rolls to Kevin Lamb. Does it open up for him once more? Door closed by Wicket and Russo can break. Has Rogan to his left and finds him. Scott Rogan got his feet wrong. And in the end, the Fitzroy counter fizzles out. But it was so quick that they opened Pasco Vale up on the break. It was like lightning. They went from one end to the other. They bared their claws, but just couldn't land a blow. As Nepomuceno sees from Newen. Face to face with Robotis. Russo tried to close, could find Arn. Newen. Arn once more. Evangelista looking to be the option, but he couldn't get by Russo. That's cheeky, but Jin was there to do well. And Nepomuceno took that down expertly. Javaro Nepomuceno tried to skip by Robotis, who stuck a leg out. Officials say nothing doing, and Fitzroy will reset once more. With captain Scott Rogan and Russo. Rogan once more. Russo down the line for Robotis. Newen stuck a foot in. This one is showing no signs of slowing down. Rogan for Russo. Waljarin's made a darting run, and he does find him. Saka Waljarin took him a second to get it under control, and it allowed Nepomuceno to steal in. And can Pasco Vale break? He has on. Rolls it to on. It was just behind him. Waljarin's recovery run was a good one as it is. But Chavinon just couldn't apply the finish. As Russo finds Waljarin. Rolls it for Robotis, who turns face-to-face with Newen. Tries to work the angle. Robotis does. Newen stuck a leg out, and Fitzroy have another corner. Harry Robotis manoeuvred that well. Worked the angle to shoot, but Michael Newen alert to dangerous. Rogan clattered one into Waljarin's head. Newen wins it down for Nepomuceno, who turns Robotis wonderfully. Now face-to-face with Rogan. What can he try? Rogan sticks a foot in, and Nepomuceno, after a fancy bit of footwork to beat the first, didn't beat the second Fitzroy Tiger. Newen back with Nepomuceno. Once again, Rogan trying to hassle him. Lovely. That's gorgeous from Nepomuceno. And Evangelista! That was the first time it truly opened up, and Pasco Vale nearly had their opener. It was a brilliant flick from Nepomuceno, and Evangelista caught it sweet. It just didn't quite have the finish. Now can Fitzroy go the other end? No, because Arn sticks a foot in expertly. My word, Pasco Vale were close to the lead. Russo back for Rogan. And here is Tyler Garner out on court. Over from the west. It's been a western contingency this week in Darebin, as Rogan rolls in for Russo, who left it. And in the end, Arn stuck a foot in, and Pasco Vale regained possession once more. After such an open and free start, it's all getting a bit clumsy and a bit clustered. Evangelista for Newen. Has Nepomuceno and uses him. Evangelista once more. Arn for Nepomuceno. Rolls it for Arn once more. Rogan at his back. Nepomuceno has Newen if he chooses. Rolls it for Arn. They've worked this well. Looks for the return from Nepomuceno. While Jarry nipped at the heels. Maliaros didn't quite get it clear. Newen looks to cut back Noma's home. Garner, importantly, was for Fitzroy. He can give Rogan down the line. Chooses to. Put under pressure by Arn. He skips by him. Opens up for Newen. Rogan dives in. And the game's first yellow card is brandished to Scott Rogan after a really late lunge, and he caught Michael Newen. The Pasco Vale number 5 is down amidst protests from the bench. And Rogan, who was booked in the Classico last week, has his second caution in as many games. As a froth mop is called on court, Michael Newen is back up on his feet and looks to be okay, as Pasco Vale issue the first timeout ahead of this free kick. Scott Rogan in the book, and a truly tasty opening passage as Pasco Vale call timeout. The deadlock yet to be broken. It is Pasco Vale 0, Fitzroy 0. return from timeout 1 with a Pasco Vale free kick in a promising position for those in white. Rogan's late lunge earned him a booking. And are we about to see the deadlock potentially be broken? Nepomuceno stands over. Has a wall of 2 Tigers to beat plus Maliaros in between the sticks. It is Javaro. Nepomuceno could only find Rogan. Wildjareen gave it to him on the touch, and Garner's in, and Fitzroy can turn defence into attack, but Michael Newen is there to clean up the danger. Saka Wildjareen dived in, and Pasco Vale have another free kick. He's been on the receiving end as Michael Newen in these opening exchanges. A couple of late lunges. There's Arn. Evangelista. Pasco Vale sent in the ascendancy as he looks for Nepomuceno, who took it down only to serve as a cushion for Rogan, who went long back to Jarvis Jim. Newen. Back with Evangelista. Fitzroy just sitting a touch deeper as Nepomuceno. Once again with Rogan. Javaro Nepomuceno, what trickery can he unlock? Evangelista once more. Up with Russo. Rogan faked to dive in. Evangelista went the long way round. Garner gave it away. Him and Wildjareen got in a bit of a muddle. And in the end, Pasco Vale have a corner. It's rolled only as far as Garner, but Evangelista won it back. Picked his pocket. Nepomuceno rolls it for Newen. Back with Javaro Nepomuceno as Garner goes highest. And Evangelista face to face with Wildjareen, trying to work an angle by and instead wins possession back. Made the best of a bad situation, did Felipe Evangelista as Rogan takes it down and rolls it to Russo. Looks to skip by arm, but can't quite. There's nothing doing. It's been a strong start on both ends. Pasco Vale in the ascendancy now after Fitzroy looked to hit hard early. There's Jin. Arn. Rolls it for Nepomuceno, trying to turn Garner. Does Javaro Nepomuceno, only to be confronted with Wildjareen. It's 2 against 1 in that corner, and Javaro Nepomuceno doesn't do badly in the end. Maliaros looks to give long and go straight away. Rogan made that run, but Newen got up. Could only find Wildjareen. He's trying to work the angle, has Garner far side. It is Saka Wildjareen twisting and turning. It is Scott Rogan. Opens up for Wildjareen. Could only find Nepomuceno's boot on the block, and Arn is able to usher the ball away from Garner. Nepomuceno under immediate pressure as he tries not to run out of room and tries to skip by Wildjareen. Javaro Nepomuceno does wonderfully and rolls it to Arn. Now Evangelista finds Newen. They can go the other way, Pasco Vale. It's Michael Newen who had a stab. Maliaros got his angles right to make the save. Garner goes down and is told to return to his feet immediately as Cruz finds Rogan. And now Garner in possession, face to face with Newen. Evangelista comes to cover the gap. Arndt sticks a foot in, and Evangelista comes away with it. It is Felipe Evangelista stopped up on Rogan. Now Newen. Nepomuceno advancing. Pasco Vale just get their shape back there. That was well worked. As Javaro Nepomuceno opened up on Cruz, and Wildjareen has the chance to break, and he has Cruz with him, who could only find Jin's palms. Newen. Calm is the call throughout Darabin on both sides, as you could cut the early tension with a knife. Nepomuceno. Evangelista. Has Arn dropping, Newen advancing. Chooses Arn, who tried to clip Newen in, and Garner in turn is, and Jarvis Jin got in very well and arrowed one towards the commentary box. Did what he had to do, the number 1, made a clearance. And once again, our cameraman nearly in the firing line along with that. It is seemingly inescapable for those who sit highest. There's Garner, clip one towards Wildjareen. But it just had too much on it. Chances at a premium, but Pasco Vale certainly had the best of one. As Lamb, who returns, has Evangelista and uses him. What can Pasco Vale work here? Need to be patient in their approach. Lamb once more. Oh, Garner nearly stole him. Can they take an early advantage? Pasco Vale. Max Cruz nipped in. But once again, those in white can restart. Evangelista from Lima. Looks to clip one in. Rogan stuck a foot out. And Garner had a quick turn of pace on Lamb. Look to go, it was Garner. My word, he caught that sweet, and that was inches over. It was not far away from the opening goal for Fitzroy as Lima collects for Pasco Vale, ushered by Waljareen. Lamb gives it away to Cruz. Now Waljareen once more. In turn, can't find a way by the number 19 who defends expertly. In that Pasco Vale build-up right now, Pobleta's longest. Lima sort of free roaming. Lamb and Evangelista holding the width. And here's Poblet's flick to Alison Lima, who ran out of room before trying to get a return ball. You feel as though this one has entered the cage after a frantic opening 10. The second time in 2 weeks that Fitzroy are frustrated in the opening half thus far, as Maliaros looks to go long to no avail, and Jarvis Gin happy to see that one out of play. He has Evangelista if he chooses. Look to go long towards Poblet. Instead, has Lima lurking, who stuck an arm into Tyler Garner's back. And unfortunately for Alison Lima, there was no way he was getting away with that one. Russo, back with Garner, now Cruz. Tyler Garner once more. Cruz has made a darting run long if Waljareen can pick him out. Decides to try go with Kevin Lamb. Garner, can he skip by Lima and break the press? Cruz came deepest, looked to clip Russo. Evangelista stuck a boot in. Poblet did well. Lima gave it back to Victor Poblet. Rounded the keeper, but couldn't find the finish. Easily Pasco Vale's best move of this first half. Poblet did so well to round the keeper, but he just couldn't wrap it round and find the back of the net in turn. As Fitzroy once again are let off. And Garner, put under by Poblet, who made a crashing challenge. Has two to compete with. Instead uses Evangelista. Lima moves centrally, Lamb moves widest, and he does find Kevin Lamb. Looking to work the angle, could only work it to Adrian. Lima, inventive. Maliaros just stuck a foot out in hope, and Pasco Vale have a corner as Alison Lima got inventive. He let intuition take over. And Pasco Vale, who have been knocking on the door in the ascendancy of this opening 10 minutes, nearly had their opening goal as Evangelista flung himself at full pelt to the back post, but just couldn't apply the touch. Touch from Maliaros on the way, and they will reload. It is Evangelista once more, and Maliaros got a strong palm behind it. But you can sense that Fitzroy are rocked in these early stages. Lima has a kick in, and Pasco Vale have a chance. Found Kevin Lamb. Cruz tried to clear. Lamb wouldn't let him. Got it back from Lima. And it's Alison Lima. It's another sturdy hand from Lachlan Maliaros to keep this game at 0-0. But you sense it might be coming. There may be something about to open up. They have pressed and pushed for the entirety of the final few, at least, Pasco Vale. Are they about to see reward for their efforts? Evangelista rolled it for Lamb. It's Lima! It is 1-0! Alison Lima fires into the roof of the net, and having sustained pressure on this Fitzroy defence, Pasco Vale finally make the momentum count, and they hit the front. It was a ferocious Lima finish. And it is the Lions who roar first in this encounter. Fitzroy need an answer straight away, but the press forces it back to Gin and Evangelista. Pasco Vale finds Lima once more, the goal scorer. Can they add a quick double? Opens up for Lima again. Tried to dive in. Garner got in the way very expertly. Face to face with Lamb, who stuck a boot in and was able to get something on the ball. And this one all of a sudden has just opened up as Garner from Russo finds Cruz. Looks down the line for wicket. Evangelista got in there. Shouts for handball, turned down. As Felipe Evangelista clips to Poblet, who lost it out to Russo. And Jarvis Gin made a super save. That was a huge opening for Russo to level as soon as they'd gone behind. And Jarvis Gin stuck out a strong hand and got enough on it to turn it, as Russo tried to turn another effort goalwards, but could only find the top over the bar. And all of a sudden, this one sprung into life. Gin rolls for Evangelista. Pasco Vale, as everybody else on court, just needing a breather. Michael Newen rolls for Kevin Lamb. Poblete, back for Lamb. It opens up for Lamb and Poblete. Maliaros stuck a leg out and did well. And Russo in the end had to clear it anywhere. But at the moment, they're on the ropes. And Poblete once again. Can he work the angle? Michael Newen might be able to. Finds Evangelista instead. Newen goes beyond him. Poblete drops deepest. They're just trying to work the angle now. Are those in Pasco Vale White? Newen nearly sold short by Evangelista, but they nearly worked it out, him and Kevin Lamb, before running out of room. And the Fitzroy press finally pays dividends. Cruz for Ghana. Russo trying to open it up. Cruz once more. Now it is Cosi Russo. Ghana tried to clip him in, but Newen stood tallest. Ghana resets with Seb Wicked as Rogan re-enters court. Over on the commentary side and is immediately involved. It is Scott Rogan! It was an arrowing effort, but it arrowed just wide of the bottom corner. Some of the best Fitzroy have been able to create in these last few minutes. The Russo chance and then Rogan in quick fire succession. But Pasco Vale have been just reward for their 1-goal lead so far. They have possession and Evangelista saunters over to keep us going. Nepomuceno looking to re-enter as Newen goes for Poblete, holds off Rogan, finds on, rolls it for Newen, and now Fitzroy can break. Ghana's got options left and right. Russo took a tumble, Wickett couldn't quite get there, and the officials say nothing doing. And those on the Fitzroy bench are incensed at that decision. As Newen rolls in Poblete again, he's been such a different dimension to this side so far. Twisting and turning, trying to find a way past Ghana, who can only stick a leg out as Poblete has to look indoors. Has Nepomuceno, instead goes back to Newen. Trying to roll in on down the line. As Nepomuceno presses Rogan hard. And Cruz could get in behind. He does through Nepomuceno. And in the end, Jarvis Gin is able to usher him out of play. But Victor Poblete has been such a difference maker in this first half for the way that Pasco Vale have gone about it. This long ball here, he holds well against Wickett. Rolls it for Arn! And Maliaros made a smart save. Arn just took too little time to try and roll it back to Newen. Blazed away and clipped over the top. And Fitzroy will recover possession. But you see once more, Poblete has been a massive difference maker to how this side get up court. He's provided such a good hold-up element, allowing them to go long or short as he's great with his feet. And Rogan goes long now for Turner. Back with Scott Rogan, who has Ghana one more if he chooses, and he does. Can Fitzroy move before half-time? Poblete kind of clumsily dived into Rogan, who did beautifully to skip by not just one but two. And Nepomuceno tried to stick a foot in. Wickett couldn't apply the finish. As Pasco Vale have an accumulated foul for that Poblete dive in on Scott Rogan. Gin. Back with Newen. Has arm wide. And uses him. Rolls it to Poblete. Back with Michael Newen. Tried to clip on in. Couldn't get it by Rogan. It is Scott Rogan! It's dragged just wide once more. It's another look wasted for Fitzroy, who have 2 futsaroos out there at the moment. But they can't find an opening. They've had a flurry to end this first half as Lima won up against Rogan. Tried to divert the header goalwards, not as any further than Maliaros as it opens up for Ghana and Jim makes a smart save. Calls for a bit of calm. Looked for Nepomuceno long. Had Arn, who was immediately swarmed by Tigers. Ghana. Back for Turner. Now Rogan. He couldn't intend. Find the number 7. It just had a bit too much on it, and the Pasco Vale press is paying off. They had to weather a bit of a Fitzroy storm, but as we head towards the closing stages of this first half, they may look to reinstate the good feeling and the free-flowing futsal they had in its opening stages as Arn from Lima hits Newen. Rolls it for Arn. Newen once more. Went down the line, couldn't beat Turner, but Jim was there to clean up and collect. Looked for Nepomuceno, but Rogan got up well this time. As there's a call for somebody to drop in when Jim goes long, just to give that short alternative. As Newen had it open up from Nepomuceno. Maliaros didn't get there, but in the end, neither did a Pasco Vale shirt. It matters not for them as they retain possession. And Arm will be the one to get that back underway. Has Lima short, Nepomuceno further back if he chooses. Newen's made a breaking run. Goes for Javaro Nepomuceno, fake to shoot. Stood up against Rogan. Tried to skip by him, in turn only kept the ball. Took it quickly for Newen. Garner and Rogan go highest. As Arn is rolled in by Nepomuceno. Opens up for Arn. Look to find Lima. Wicker got a crucial foot in. Can Rogan get Fitzroy going the other way? It is Tyler Garner. As Wicket looking to advance Turner with him. Under pressure from Arn. And Rogan once more. Garner. Back for Scott Rogan. Turner on commentary side, holding the width, looking to cut indoors. Rogan one-on-one with Lima. Rolls it out for Tyler Garner. Face-to-face with Arn. Now Turner. They're trying to work an angle, trying to work a yard for a shot, and they can't find one right now. They're staying patient with Rogan. Garner once more. It is Tyler Garner. Jin stuck out a leg, and again, that's unbelievable. That's a fabulous double save from Jarvis Jin as Turner nipped in and looked to turn goalwards. He stuck out a palm and managed to get enough off it to only give Fitzroy a corner instead of an equaliser. Can they conjure from this set piece? The door is being knocked. The kitchen sink is thrown. Garner, Rogan. Arn got in the way crucially. And once again, this Pasco Vale defensive setup holding firm. As Fitzroy look for an opening and they look for a way back in. Harry Robotis re-enters. We need a froth mop once more. Out here on court. It is the slenderest of leads in one of the most action-packed first halves we have seen so far this season. Pasco Vale holding a slim advantage. And so far have been good enough for it, despite Fitzroy's best efforts. There's been nothing clear-cut prior to that final opportunity where Jarvis Jin was not once but twice equal to it. We resume back in. Garner. Looks for Rogan back post, too high for him. Had to have a stab after a heavy touch, and it comes to no avail, with Pasco Vale being able to reset. Jarvis Jin has Nepomuceno and Newen. Looks to go long, launches towards Evangelista, only Robotis got in the way. Turner tried to flick one on for Garner, who was nipping at Nepomuceno's tail. Javaro Nepomuceno does brilliantly, not just to win, but turn, and calm things down to Michael Newen once more. It is Nepomuceno. Just teasing Garner, and then rolling beautifully for Newen, who lets it back for Evangelista, who clips Lima in over the top. Turner stuck a foot in, Lima hit the floor, nothing doing despite. Pasco appeals, Michael Newen stuck a leg out and nearly diverted it goalwards. Maliaros stuck a good hand out, made a solid save as Rogan and Garner look to get a handle back on proceedings for Fitzroy. It is Tyler Garner and Harry Robotis. Scott Rogan once more. Face to face with Lima. Skips by Alison Lima. It is Rogan. Lima got in the way. And at the first and second attempt committed a foul. He's not happy about it, but he clipped at Rogan's heels. And Fitzroy will have a free kick. What can they conjure? Not long remains in this first half, and so far, the Tigers haven't been toothless, but haven't bared all. As Pasco Vale have stood firm. but you suggest there could still be a bite before the half-time whistle sounds. Will it come from Garner, who has Rogan and Robotis back post? Now Turner, they're rotating it well. Garner looked to find Rogan, could only find Evangelista, who had a nice bit of footwork, and in the end, Tyler Garner ran out of room, and Felipe Evangelista can restart things. Rolled it for Newen. Nepomuceno screaming on the far side forward, and Michael Newen obliges. Lima came deeper. Nepomuceno tried to skip by Turner. In the end, clipped it indoors for Newen. And Turner once more, and Fitzroy can break. It opens up for Rogan via a deflection. And all it does instead is rock it up for a corner. As we have under 4 minutes left in the first half, and Fitzroy issue a timeout ahead of this corner. It is Pasco Vale 1, Fitzroy 0.
Me and my mama just us in the trauma, hands up if you know what I mean. I see you, I feel you, I want you to know that you're not alone. I know what it's like not to have a home.
Yeah, the interview looks great.
Feel like I live in the end zone. I'm the one leading the drives. The crew riding round in a benzo. Ready to I'm in charge of my own fate. Left the excuses behind. Now I'm the illest violinist alive. I took the pain and I thrive, but look at me now.
We return from a timeout. 4 to go before half-time. And it is a slender Pasco Vale lead over Fitzroy, who have a corner. They've given it their best effort since going behind, but those in white hold firm as it stands. Rogan and Russo with a couple looks each. Garner's had a couple deflected efforts as he receives from Rogan here. Back with Russo. Robotis far side, uses Garner instead. Rogan lets it for Garner, and Robotis got a touch, got it under control, couldn't fire away past Evangelista, who got down well expertly, and he read the Robotis turn. So many times this season, Harry Robotis, who sits second in the Golden Boot, has found the back of the net off the turn like that. Operates well in the space, does the Fitzroy number 18, as Rogan looks to find Russo down the line, who's going to make life difficult for Lima. Not difficult enough as he ushers it out of play. It is the Pasco Vale captain's goal that is the difference maker right now, as Lima, speculatively long for Javaro Nepomuceno, appreciates the thought. There's just too much on it. What can Fitzroy work in the final stages of this opening half? Rogan long for Robotis. Return to the favour to Scott Rogan, who's got Garner widest. Look to find Russo, but Newen stuck a leg in, and Fitzroy will have yet another corner. Certainly post-timeout, it's been a much cagier affair. And that's to say it's been free-flowing at times, as Robotis couldn't receive it. It could only pick up to Newen, who couldn't skip by him. Michael Newen in turn. Evangelista stuck a foot in. Alison Lima rolls it for Poblit, and Rogan got a foot in eventually. It just opened up for Pasco Vale there on the break, although they may not have played their cards right. Evangelista taking the long way round to restart proceedings. He has Alison Lima furthest back. Poblit central, Newen far side. Rolls it for Lima, and Maliaros got a hand in. It rolls all the way out to Poblit, who looked to have a shot early. Rogan got in the way. And once again, it's a sturdy wrist from Lachlan Maliaros. Keeping things at 1-0 as Newen finds Poblito, skips by Rogan beautifully. Lima had a go. It was inventive and audacious. Russo came away with it. Rogan couldn't get it out from under his feet. And Lima stood up. Rogan uncharacteristically gave it away. Evangelista, does he look for calm or blaze away? Has Poblete in field, uses him. Poblete worked the angle, had a stab. Couldn't get it past Russo nor Rogan. And now Garner can go the other way. Evangelista got a foot in. Via a deflection, it was helped onto the post. And Garner couldn't turn the second effort in goalwards. Pasco Vale playing with fire. And they just about get away with it as Tyler Garner can't convert the second effort. Jarvis Jim was down quickly and smartly to stop. And he looks long for Poblete, who had a flick on, but Maliaros happy to see that one all the way out. Roll to Tyler Garner. Now Rogan. Still twist. As Rogan looks to drive down the line by Poblete. Poblete, who was a bit too handsy, and gives a free kick. And yet another promising Fitzroy. As Pasco Vale, with that little accumulated there. He will need to tread water for the rest of this half. The ice this whole side is on now is... And this is the kind of situation Fitzroy relish. A free kick with 5 fouls on the opponent in a situation like this. A goal down already. Robotis has Rogan and Garner. Will be... He couldn't conjure anything on the strike. And in the end, Jarvis Jin happy to see that one fly by inside the final 2 minutes of the opening half here in Darabin. Jin had by Robotis immediately and wins back, rolled it for Rogan. It was maybe just behind him. Scott Rogan still trying to make the angle work. To face with Newen. Has Russo and he has Garner. It's the clips for Robotis. Harry lays it for Russo. Who in turn ushers it out of play, and Pasco Vale get a bit of a calm on things. Newen. And in as we head towards the Newen gets it going one first half as Evangelista wins a corner. We're not done yet. 4 seconds remain. And it is currently a perfect opening for Pasco as it rolls to Evangelista, who had a hit, and Poblete took it under against Garner. Robotis can break. Evangelista had to be cautious, but in the end did really well to recover at the expense of the corner. He read the angle, picked a great time to stick a foot in as Robotis was bearing down. He maybe could have pulled the trigger a bit quicker than number 18. But he has a corner, and he has Rogan, and he has Russo. Newen stuck a leg out and got an all-important touch. Cosy Russo rolls it for Garner, who shot only finds Newen. And every block is being cheered on the Pasco Vale bench as it stands. With a minute, what can they do? The reigning champions, title holders, and still at the moment it is their crown as Rogan looks to hit, but to no avail. Happy that one drift wide. And you can sense that Fitzroy are frustrated in this opening half. Rogan on a booking. Paco themselves have not been clean, conceding 5 fouls as Jin goes long towards Poblete, and Rogan took it down expertly. Rolled it to Russo. What can they do before the break? Does it open up for Russo against Newen? Tried to roll Rogan. Instead found its way out to Robotis, who up against Kevin Lamb wins another corner. Pasco Vale in total shutdown mode as it stands. Garner out on the edge. It's clipped towards him. It falls to Tyler Garner, who didn't get anything over it. They will get one more look before the break, but is there One more opportunity to double the advantage. Rolled it for Public, who had a flicked header, but it didn't come to